Shumai, everyone. Right, well, I'm going to show you a few various pens, because you can get interesting ones. This one lights up, but I have no battery for it at the minute. It ran out, but it's a nice Concord pen, and it lights like a lovely vibrant blue. This one here is of a racing car stretched out into a pen, a ballpoint pen. And this pen is wooden here and here, and it's hand turned on a lathe, which is a lovely pen. It's nice. But all of the pens that I'm showing you is like ballpoint or biro. You can get fountain pens and other forms of pens, but your bog standard is just the same as any other pen. It's what pens can do, and I'm a person that believes in words, you know, very strongly. You know, you could write a letter to your MP, you know, sort of stating things that might be helpful, or, you know, and if they listen to it, then the words have achieved their goal. So it's best to write than not to write. I mean, there has been prophecies written which have came true. You can bless and curse with words, and just in the same manner, when you write them down, they can be a blessing or a curse. So yeah, that is a good weapon. And funny enough, this piece I'm going to read out is called Wea-pens. In other words, instead of P-O-N at the end of weapon, it's P-E-N as in pen. Wea-pens. Yeah, basically I had come up with a character, a superhero character, which is very hard to do. It's not that I'm looking for complete originality, it's the fact that it has to be honest and something that, you know, catches somebody. You know, I'm not saying this piece is a catchy superhero, but anyway, I had to base it on myself and my good qualities, which, you know, I would consider myself passionate. But anyway, cut a long story short, is that I started thinking about a drawer who draws a door and it comes alive, so you can open it and walk through. So I asked some friends on Facebook, and they told me that there was people such as Harold and his magic crayon, penny crayon, who drew and things came to life, and of course Roadrunner. There was a door that he opened and just walked through, and I thought, oh yeah, I probably watched them when I was younger, and it subconsciously, I subconsciously remembered them. But instead, you know, I thought about it, and I thought, well, instead of drawing, let's write. You know, if I write a square, then a square appears, but I have to give its dimensions and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm going to read this piece out to you, and I hope you enjoy it. It's called Wea-pens. Pen B is so notable, perhaps jot man, jottings be informal, the minutes scrawled pronto, be jot on spot man with a biral spiral. I am not your typical incognito of a hero, but jottings of a great spotting, biro canto and biro photo. I am a text mail sent as my motto, just call me Canto Recto. When Canto Recto writes, he seems to befall its reality. He wrote of a beautiful landscape, suddenly he was there, amidst its very essence, breathing its fresh air. Shall he write to have a safe home? But this pen of his cannot write to have someone beside him. It is, by choice, a desire to be with one another. Canto recto wrote a home. He wrote a home, and there it was in a written woodland. But woe betide, another writer writes danger, an opposition, woe, a darkness. He is a villain writer called Electum. Canto recto wrote back about the shield of light. He wrote the trees to be healthy and strong, and he walked about the woodland checking to see if there's anything had been rewritten to impose the land with dreaded machines. Canto recto wrote mountains around like a blast of winged soldiers, where Electum and his soldiers cannot walk through. Then Electum wrote roads, tunnels, cars, planes to try and journey through and over. But Canto recto wrote a storm where Electum could not build. Canto recto writes, reclaim we back to wilderness, a wildness of our living dreams. Canto recto writes earth creatures to protect, gnome clans of a dowdy tweed, as if the small wren works and weaves in and out of the undergrowth. Oh, Electum writes pesticides try and kill them off. It shall rain, Canto recto writes, it shall rain to wash it all away. Then Electum writes pollution, landfill sites, and the plastic monster. Oh, their horrid smells, pongs of great sewer. Canto recto writes, oh, rose, be my pleasure to give a pleasing pink petal. Turkish delight of a flowery sweet, delicate, yet she encounters this mess of pongs to meet the rose's scent, as if her voice a breath to inhale, as she tells her scent of language. Scented breath carries the sound of words, the transporter, the holder, to push away Electum's mess, as if a buddleia fills the air with honeyed fragrance. Electum writes an army to attack, but Canto recto writes a door as follows. A wooden door, 7 by 4 inches. I will fit through that for sure. A metal round handle, and the door must lead back home. Oh, my way of a guarantor. Space-wise, it had to be on the floor. The tree trunks were not big enough, and there were no big rock faces, no immediate walls, only but barren with the sight of gore. No time to explore, I need not war, I am per sure. Canto recto reached down and opened it, and stepped down into the door, just in time before the army reached him. To go through back to their protected kingdom. The war of authors, indeed a story to think ahead, to foretell, a foresight, but money's blindness gave no clarity in the matter. So Electum continued to write propaganda after propaganda, stating that he is for God and country. Yet in his indoctrination is just Electum's script truth phobia, with notes in the margins of the Bible, a small, such petite writing. The print of the Bible is small enough, but Electum used different coloured biros. that gave a patchwork of blue, black and red. I suppose the bruises that the Bible gave unto electum. A war of words, a war of pens, and the war of signatures, ownership of ideas, plans and the days to come, ownership of the pawns on a chessboard. Electum wrote that he came as the white side. Use our weapons. I shall disarm Electum's words. Canto recto in his tactics in handwriting, plans and blessings for his side. Shall he dare write to curse his enemies? But no, he shall write to protect himself from them. I will write hidden dens, like tent leaves that hide the wrens. Up trees or underground, I am but stealth, as if a leopard roaming the land at night. Covert, corpse wood and thicket, hush hush and veiled fresh-leafed cover. To lift her white veil, to see a beautiful face of the land. The people married unto her, amen. To sing hallelujah, it is but love of Mother Earth. For she makes and is a doyen of a good acumen, as if Mary, a doyen of mothers, with a sibling under her wing, 'tis but eagle wings. Electum writes a cloak and dagger, he writes, your land is not holding. Canto recto writes, it holds on as a need, and how the forest will spread like your labelling of the dandelions as a weed. But its globe to blow, to settle and grow, to grow all around, to pop up everywhere, as the oracle of love to show. From the thin petals makes the main a yellow roar, for this kingdom of the people will hold sure. Well, thanks very much for listening. I'm going to think about more ideas and develop it a bit more, but that's sort of like a poem version of it. So thanks for listening anyway.